hiked all day, dropped your pack, and then realize your seat is just a cold rock or a damp log? Yeah, that's exactly the moment a good backpacking chair goes from nice to have to why didn't I bring one? Stick around because we're going from number 6 all the way to the top tick. And by the end, you'll know exactly which chair actually deserves space in your tack and which ones, well, maybe belong in the gear closet instead.
6. Ayamaya camping chair. Here's the thing. It looks like a lot of other ultralight backpacking chairs, and in many ways, it behaves exactly like one too. You've got that classic collapsible aluminum frame with a fabric sling that hugs you in a slightly reclined position. So when you first sit down, you're like, oh, this is actually pretty comfy. It's designed to feel a bit like a mini lounge chair, and once you sink into it, your lower back gets a nice bit of support. The frame uses lightweight aluminum poles that snap together with shock cord, so setup is quick. Pull it out of the bag, the poles more or less snap into place on their own, then you stretch the fabric over the 4 corners. It's straightforward enough that after 1 or 2 tries, you'll be doing it on autopilot while you chat with your buddies or boil water. The pack size is small enough to slide into or strap onto a backpack, so it definitely fits the backpacking friendly label. Now here's where the Ayamaya starts sliding down the list a bit. The comfort is good once you're in it, but the overall feel can be a little wobbly if you shift your weight or lean to the side. You know when you sit and do that tiny test bounce to see if something's solid? This chair passes, but barely. It doesn't feel like it's about to snap or anything, but you're always slightly aware that it's a lightweight frame under you, not a tank.
5. Naturehike YL08 Ultralight Camping Chair. This one really leans into the ultralight but still usable idea. The first thing you notice is how light it feels in the hand. You pick up the pack bag and go, wait, that's it? It uses a 7075 aluminum alloy frame, which is stronger than standard aluminum, and a 600D Oxford fabric seat. So on paper, you're getting a solid strength to weight ratio and good tear resistance. When you set it up, you get that bucket-style seat with a slight recline. It's clearly designed more for lounging by the fire than sitting upright at a camp table. If you like to sink back, stretch your legs out, and just stare at the stars, this hits the vibe perfectly. The seat is wider than a lot of cheap ultralight chairs, so you don't feel like you're squeezed into a kid's seat. And the fabric has enough structure to support your hips and lower back. That said, the YL08 definitely isn't perfect. You don't have built-in armrests, so if you're the kind of person who likes to rest your arms on something solid, you might miss that. You sort of end up bracing your arms on the side edges of the fabric, which works, but it's not exactly chair in your living room comfort. And just like the Ayamaya, this chair sits low, which means if you're doing lots of getting up to tend the stove, grab gear, or wander around camp, you might start quietly cursing every time you drop back down. 4. ATEPA Backpacking Chair. The ATEPA starts to feel like the point where the list shifts from, yeah, that works, to, okay, now we're talking. When you set this one up, it immediately feels a bit more put together than the lower ranked options. The aluminum frame is still light, still packable, but it gives a slightly more reassuring sense of stability when you sit down. You don't get that same wobbly side-to-side flex as easily, which is nice when you're on uneven forest floors or gravel. The seat design hits a sweet spot between reclined and upright. You can lean back and relax, but you're not so laid out that eating, reading, or cooking feels awkward. It's the kind of chair where you can actually use a camp table in front of you without hunching forward the entire time. The fabric gives decent support under your thighs and lower back, so you can sit a good while without feeling like something is cutting in. In real trail use, you notice the packability is still solid. It breaks down into a compact bag that you can strap to the outside of a backpack or shove inside without much drama. Assembly is the usual ultralight chair ritual. The poles snap together quickly, and the seat slides onto the 4 corners. Once you've done it a couple of times, it's a 30-second job even when you're tired and running low on patience. 3. LENCE Portable Camping Backpacking Chair. This is one of those chairs that kind of surprises you the first time you sit in it. You pull it out of this small little bag, snap the poles together, slide the fabric on, sit down, and you instantly get that, "Oh, this is actually really nice" feeling. It's still ultralight, still compact, but the way the seat cradles you with a mix of solid fabric and breathable mesh panels makes it feel more premium. The airflow is a big deal here. On hot summer evenings around the campfire, that mesh back and sides help you avoid the whole sweaty lower back glued to the chair situation. The frame has a triangular structure that feels surprisingly sturdy for how thin the poles look. So even when you gently rock or shift your weight, you don't feel like you're testing the limits every second. You can lean back with some confidence and just relax. In real use, the setup speed is legit. The internal tension cord basically guides the poles into place as you unfold it, so you're not fumbling around in the dark trying to match pieces. The fabric corners feel reinforced enough that you don't think they're going to tear out when you pull them over the frame. You also tend to appreciate the little details, like side pockets for small items, phone, flashlight, snack bar, that keep you from constantly digging through your backpack. 2. Wildhiker Portable High Back Camping Chair with Pillow. Now we're getting into, might actually nap in this territory. The Wildhiker chair takes comfort up a notch. The moment you sit in it, you notice the taller backrest. Instead of just supporting your lower back and mid-spine, it cradles your shoulders and head, which is huge after a long day on trail. You can lean back, rest your head on the detachable pillow, and just zone out, watching the fire or the stars. The deep recline is the secret sauce here. The seat doesn't force you upright. It lets you sink into a relaxed posture that feels more like a lounge chair than a basic camp stool. You've also got arm pads and side pockets, which sound minor, but in daily use, they're the kind of details you quietly fall in love with. Your arms don't dig into bare fabric edges, and your small essentials stay right beside you instead of buried in a pack. Despite that taller, more substantial frame, it's still designed with backpacking in mind. The aluminum construction keeps the weight reasonable, and it breaks down into a compact size that can ride in or on your pack. Sure, it's a bit bulkier than some minimalist chairs, but the comfort per ounce ratio is excellent. For trips where you know you'll spend serious time in camp, base camps, moto camping, RV, or mellow backpacking, the trade-off is absolutely worth it. The pillow is actually more than just a gimmick. 1. Advnture Portable Camping Chair with 3 towels. This is the one that does something clever, and once you get it, it's hard to unsee. On the surface, it's a lightweight, compact backpacking chair built with a high-strength aluminum alloy frame that can handle a serious load while still packing down small. So yes, it checks all the usual boxes: strong frame, breathable seat, quick setup, trail-friendly weight. But here's what matters. It doesn't stop at just a chair. The included quick-dry microfiber towels turn this into a tiny comfort system, not just a seat. On a real trip, those towels end up doing everything: drying off after a river crossing, wiping condensation from your tent, doubling as a pillow, or giving you a clean layer on the chair when you're sweaty, damp, or covered in sunscreen and dust. It sounds small, but on day 3 of a trip, you really start appreciating having extra quick-dry textiles that pack away with your chair. Sitting in the Advnture chair, you feel like the geometry is dialed in. The angle between the seat and back hits that sweet spot where you can both lounge and sit up to cook or eat without constantly adjusting. The fabric supports you without feeling like it's cutting into your legs, and the frame feels reassuringly solid when you shift positions. You can twist to reach gear, lean to one side, or tuck a leg under you without getting that, is this a bad idea feeling? Final thought. That's all for today.